Welcome to the Spa Girls podcast, the self-publishing podcast for authors. You're in the right place for the best writing, marketing, and publishing advice, plus interviews with industry experts and best-selling authors. I'm Cheryl Phipps.
I'm Shah Barrett.
I'm Wendy Vella.
And I'm Trudy J. Hello. And this week,
Hello.
we have Rebecca Hefner with us for the third time.
Welcome,
Hello,
Rebecca. So
I'm
excited.
so happy to be back. Yeah, I was telling you all, it's like coming back and chatting with old friends. So thank you for having me on.
Thank
No
you.
worries
That's
at all.
exactly how we like it.
So Rebecca, you're our go-to expert for audiobooks. So we're super excited to have you on this week. And we're going to talk about marketing and promoting your audiobooks. We've had you on twice before, and so I feel like we've done some of the basics and talked about that kind of stuff in the past. So we're going to try and do next level, hopefully, information here this week. But I'm going to read out your bio first, and then we're going to get into the what you've been doing and all the exciting stuff. So
Sounds good.
USA Today best-selling author Rebecca Hefner grew up in Western North Carolina and now calls the Hudson River of New York City home. In her youth, she would sneak into her mother's bedroom and read the romance novels stashed on the bookshelf, cementing her love of HEAs. A huge Buffy and Star Wars fan, she loves an epic fantasy and a surprise twist. Luke, he is your father. Sorry, I had to do that in a funny voice. Don't know why. Before becoming an author, Rebecca had a successful sales career. After launching her own indie publishing company, she is now a full-time author who helps coach other authors, especially on wide publishing strategies and direct selling. So that's awesome. Welcome to the spa, Rebecca.
Thanks. Yeah, so happy to be here. This is awesome.
So last time you were here with us was in October 2024. So what have you been doing since then? Can you remember?
I know I know everything moves so fast and so slow at the same time in this business, I feel like. So, but yeah, so I definitely have been focusing on my direct selling. I actually have two direct stores because I have too many pen names. So yeah, I've been focusing on direct selling, obviously still focusing on wide audiobooks because that's just something that I'm really passionate about. I really love audiobooks. And then, yeah, I also so I spend a lot of my time doing the other things, writing and publishing books, but then I'm also spending time like coaching other authors and helping other authors and putting out resources. And I like doing both because one is the creative side of my brain and one is the entrepreneurial coaching business side of my brain. So they both sort of help keep me sort of balanced, I guess. So yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome for us.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Well, let's dig into the direct side of things because that's what last time I think you just started up your direct store and now you've obviously got way more experience and you know exactly what you're doing.
Yes.
So let's talk about that. So you were on a Payhip store and you've now switched to Spotify. Talk us about that, like what's happening there.
Yeah.
Shopify.
Oh,
I know you
oh God,
Well,
Spotify. Yes, sorry, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Shopify, Spotify, I get them mixed up all the time. And also, you're very kind. I wouldn't say I know exactly what I'm doing, but I do know more than I did last time I was on. And I think maybe that's the theme of everyone's life as an author is that everything always changes. So like as soon as you learn something and you think, okay, I've got it, the business changes again, right? We see that with Amazon's algorithm and with all the AI books on there and all this stuff. So, but yes, I have spent the last, I've had direct stores now for a couple years, and I definitely have spent the last year really focusing on spending the vast majority of my marketing dollars, putting that toward my direct stores. So I have one Shopify store that is Rebecca Hefner and Isla Asher. Those are my two main author names. They're romantasy and contemporary romance, but the readers are the same. So I saw no reason to, create two stores. So they're on one store together. And then I also have a Payhip store, which is under my super spicy pen name. And between those two stores, they make up the majority of my author revenue. So that was my goal when I began direct selling, is to eventually get to where I make more direct selling than I make on all the other platforms combined. Obviously, I still want to make money on Amazon. I still want to make money on everywhere else, but selling direct was always my goal of being successful at it because I own the reader. and I make more profit, and I don't have to give that money. I don't have to give a royalty to a retailer every time. So that was my goal. So that's what I have been focusing on.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes total sense.
absolutely.
Yeah. Go you. Like,
Okay,
that's
the next
awesome.
question is, what have you done to make that happen?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Two top.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So there are a lot of things. So I definitely have worked on getting better at Facebook ads. I know we talked about this a little bit last time. And I know we talked about, should you hire someone to run ads for you, or should you do it yourself? And I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. Some people just don't want to learn Facebook ads. If you're that person, then you should hire someone. But I think I told you guys this last time, is that I've hired someone to do Facebook ads for me twice now, and it failed both times. And so after that, I just made the decision that I was just going to learn myself, because I couldn't afford to hire a third person to do it and lose money, basically.
Honestly, that's
So
not uncommon. We've heard that many times from authors,
yeah.
even really high level. And you'd think, your time is worth more than doing that, but actually, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
That's
had some big deals in it, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Unfortunately, for me, it's the other way around. It works really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've hired
Great.
someone, and because
Yeah.
it's work for me doing it.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. And I think if it works for you, that's awesome. Now, a lot of times the people, I'm talking about direct sales specifically. So I do think that hiring someone to run ads to Amazon, you have a much higher success rate. So I do want to clarify that. So if you are an author out there who's like in KU and who wants to hire someone to run ads, traffic ads, I do think you're going to have a higher success rate hiring someone. So what I'm specifically speaking about is hiring someone to do ads to your direct store. For me, I believe that is a harder sort of nut to crack with Facebook ads, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
Do you find, because we've also had people on the show saying they do ads to direct stores, but it actually boosts their Amazon anyway as well. Like, it's not even,
yes.
yeah. And they find the
That
same thing?
absolutely, yes, that absolutely happens for me. So I definitely, that's attrition revenue. So you have to count that into your revenue every month, right? So I can always tell when I'm running Facebook ads to my Shopify store, I always see a spike in the first couple of books in the bundles that I'm running ads to on Amazon every day. I get a spike of sales every day. So I have to put that into my revenue of what I'm earning from my direct sales Facebook ads, or else I'm kind of shafting myself on not counting the full revenue, right? So I spend a lot of time like going through the spreadsheets and looking at which books am I selling where I'm not doing any other ads except to my Shopify store. I know that those are coming from my Facebook ads to my direct store where people are seeing it and then going and looking up on Amazon. So yes, that is absolutely correct. And authors need to remember to count that in their revenue for sure.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, so back to what have you been doing? So Facebook ads,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah.
So Facebook ads. And then the other thing I'll say is my other pen name that I sell on Payhip, I don't sell that on Amazon or Audible at all. So that's been a really interesting experiment, because people don't have a choice. They can't look up those books on Amazon. So I have no ancillary income coming in. And so I'm really training those readers to just buy from me direct, because people don't really go look on Apple or Kobo. I have the books on all those other platforms. But that's been a really interesting sort of way for me to kind of prove that people will buy direct if they have no other choice, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Can I
So
ask
you
why you're not using Amazon for that pen name?
Yes, because when I started, I published a few of them very early on in my career. They're pretty spicy. And I had put some stuff in the blurbs that Amazon didn't like, and they started blocking all of those books. And
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm not going to like jeopardize my Amazon account for this pen name. So I'll
Absolutely.
just figure out how to publish it not on Amazon. And it turned out to be like such a good, of course I was really upset when they started blocking the books, but then it turned out to be such a good thing, because it forced me to learn how to not sell on Amazon and not sell on Audible. So, and that pen name is proof that you do not have to be on Amazon or Audible to be successful, because I just did a revenue breakdown. I was telling you guys before we started recording of my sales this year. My number one producer is my Shopify store, but my number two revenue producer is that Payhip store that doesn't have any books on Amazon. So my two direct stores are my two, top revenue drivers. So when people don't have another choice, they will buy the way that you want them to buy
Mm.
is the lesson
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
it
So
was
that's
actually
a real silver lining, actually, isn't it? In that,
yes,
yeah.
I think it was
Love
meant to be. Yeah.
Mhm.
How long did it take you to get growth on that? Like, it obviously didn't happen overnight, but you know,
Yeah, I think it took me, I mean, that pen name, it did kind of take off, not overnight, but I had audiobooks made right away because I knew I was good at selling audiobooks. So I was like, I found a narrator who I promised she could narrate every single audiobook I ever put out under that name, solo narration. She does them for a certain rate because I promised her every audiobook I ever write under that name. She does them herself. So I just pay her and so the production costs are low. Of course, not super low. I'm still paying a human narrator, but like she's fantastic. And so I was really able to grow my mailing list for that pen name with events like Stuff Your Earbuds and things like that. So very quickly, I grew that mailing list to about 8,000 subscribers within about 6 months. And
Wow.
from there, I just started emailing them like spicy scene Friday, spicy scene this, here's a heartfelt scene Thursday. And I just would just email them excerpts from the books. And then so I just sent out a newsletter every week or 2 weeks, depending upon how busy I was, to that pen name. And then after I put the excerpt, I would just put, you can read the book here, or you can read the whole book bundle for a discount here. And those are the only two links they got, the link to the book on my store or the link to the bundle on my store. And it just converted like crazy. And I just started, that was really how I started making money with that name. And then I started running Facebook ads to that store. So I had the combination of my newsletter, which was producing revenue, and then my Facebook ads that started producing revenue. So those two revenue streams are really my main revenue streams for that pen name now.
That's
Currently.
fantastic.
Cool.
Those are some good ideas about the newsletter, though, right? Like giving
Mm.
the excerpts, getting the actual writing,
Yes.
giving them the,
Yes.
yeah. Mm.
Can I ask,
Yeah,
did you run any advertising to build that mailing list up, Rebecca, or was that sort of organic?
It was all organic
Wow.
mostly from giving away free audiobooks. Because giving away the free, I don't, I think I've spoken to you guys about this before. For some reason, I don't see a huge return on free ebooks anymore.
Mhm.
I know people did in the beginning. I might have just become an author a slight bit too late for permafreeze to really work for me, or maybe I just wasn't doing it right. I don't know. But for some reason, my return on investment on ebook permafreeze has just never been great. And when I give away audiobook permafreeze, like the first audiobook in a series, it just works like gangbusters, and I'm able to like build up my list, and I'm able to convert those people to purchasers. So I don't know. I don't really enter a lot of free ebook blasts anymore. I only do free audiobook stuff like Stuff Your Earbuds, indie audiobook deals, and then I do all the Kobo promos. So I do well on Kobo Plus as well. That pen name does obviously phenomenally well on Kobo Plus because it's not on Amazon. So that's like another place that people can find those books. So yeah, that's really like that's how I built that name. And on the newsletter, because I started doing it for just that pen name, the excerpts in the newsletter. And because it was converting so well, I then changed all of my other pen names newsletters to where I now give an excerpt in those newsletters as well, and then link to the book in the bundle at the bottom. It's the same format. And I have people who are on all three mailing lists, and I feel so sorry for these people because I literally just send out the same format like all the time. They don't seem to mind. But yeah, it converts really well. So this is something, if you to take from me and give a try, but like I kind of alternate between a spicy scene and a heartfelt scene in every other newsletter now. And yeah, that has
So you
worked.
insert the actual voice. Yeah.
No.
No.
So sometimes I do an audio clip, but for the most part, I'm just doing a text
Right.
clip. So
Yeah.
I do a free audiobook to get them on my list.
Yeah.
And then I also do audiobook round robins. I should have said that as well. So I set up a lot of audiobook round robins where you have 12 other authors in your genre, and then you each give away a free audiobook every month. And that's another way I consider that again a perma-free, but I'm just doing it on a round robin. And I do those for all three of my pen names every year. I do, a round robin for each pen name. So I'm growing my list from other authors that have the same genre as me. And then, I usually just give a text excerpt. And then, at the bottom, just the two buttons of read the book read or get the whole bundle for this discount, and boom. And I know, I mean, I send out my newsletters on Fridays, and right now I'm currently doing every 2 weeks. So I'm doing one pen name and then 2 pen names the next week. And every time I send out a newsletter, I know I'm going to get like a bump in sales because they convert when I put in these excerpts. So hopefully that can help other authors. Maybe
So
give it a
just to
try.
clarify, you're doing one newsletter per week. So one is for that single spicy pen, and then the other one is for the dual, the you and Isla pen names.
Yes, I actually have a
Oh.
separate newsletter for Isla as well. So
Oh, wow.
I actually I have a 4th pen name now. So I really do.
Of course you
Maybe I
do.
have ebooks. I don't even talk about that one. I just
Do
started
you
that one.
sleep
But
at all?
yeah.
Or
Yeah.
do you have an
I like to try
assistant?
new things.
Do
I
you
do
have-
have some
Oh.
PAs. I do have some PAs that work with
Okay.
me, thank God.
Obviously, we're not going to ask about pen name reveal, all that. Totally respect that. But just can you say with your spicy, is it contempt or paranormal? I'm always curious because,
Both.
oh, wow, go you. It's
So
fantastic.
for that pen name, because I was just like, who cares? No one knows
Yeah,
it's me.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
write whatever I want to write and give it a try. So I
Yeah.
write paranormal, and I write contemporary, and I write all sorts of weird stuff
Go.
under that pen
That's
name.
fantastic.
It's super fun. It's like a nice escape for me to
Yeah,
like,
take the reins off and just
yeah,
run free.
yeah.
You
And
must
they're
be
all
super
novellas,
organized.
but I am very organized. I love a spreadsheet. My girlfriend's bought me a mug for Christmas that says "Freak in the Sheets" as a spreadsheet on it. So like, I'm definitely very organized.
I'd love to
And
be that
It's a
organized.
known thing.
how many books are you writing a year, Rebecca?
Well, again, so the spicy pen name is novellas only. Although I wrote a Christmas book under that name last year, and it ended up being like 55,000 words, which was longer than I normally write under that name. But it just, the story took it there, and I was like, start writing like kind of longer books under that name. But like I have different production years. Like 2024 was just like not a good book production year for me. I think I released 5 books that year, maybe, which is very low for me. Like during the pandemic, I was releasing like 15 books a year. Like it was nuts. But now I've released 3 books under this new pen name this year, couple of books under the spicy pen name. Next, I'm going to release 2 books under my Isla pen name. And then I have to write a book under Rebecca before my readers revolt. So I'll probably do 10 or 12 this year. That's like normal for me.
And how big are they?
The spicy pen name are mostly novellas or 55,000 words or shorter. I try to keep Rebecca's books around 85,000 words. That's like the sweet spot for her books. Isla's books I like to keep between 55 to 70,000. And then the Mafia, so my new pen name is a Mafia romance pen name. So that one is all of those books are between 50 to 65,000 words.
Wow. That is
Oh
a
my
lot of
goodness.
wordage. That's
I
a big
can't.
mileage
Writing a
every
day.
year, Rebecca.
I thought you were going to say something like 35K
Yeah.
or something like that.
Some of the spicy pen, yeah, those are novellas. The spicy pen names is, those are novellas. So they're uh like 30 is probably the shortest I'll go for that now. But yeah, like 30,000
Can I
words.
just
So
say
it's
though,
not too-
as a fellow novella writer, often it's the same amount of work. It might not necessarily be the same amount of keyboard, but the actual editing, none of that is, well, for me anyway, is any faster.
Yeah,
It's
that's
still
very
the
true.
same production.
Yeah. It's true. I will say for my spicy pen name, because I don't care. And by the way, the readers of this pen name are like insane. Like they're so like they message. But it's so strange. Like I'm thankful, but I'm just like really, I put so much work into my Rebecca books. Like I have this like fancy editor. Like I don't use her for my spice. Like that's ridiculous. But like anyway, the production on those is easier for me because I just have like a proofreader and I don't really do any editing or anything. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's
Bless the readers, and obviously it's the core is you're getting the storytelling and you're delivering what they want.
exactly.
So that's the important part.
I'm hitting different spots, no pun intended, for everybody. And like we're just like, I'm getting it out to different readers like different things. And at this point I have enough pen names to kind of satisfy them all, which is great.
So what made you decide to go into Mafia as well with just adding on another pen name?
Yeah, I just wanted to try something new. It didn't fit
Mm.
under any of my other pen names. I had two characters that came into my head and would not stop talking. That's usually how I write books, is if the characters come into my head and they don't stop talking, I take it as a sign that I need to write it. And so, and I figured it was a good way for me to experiment with some new stuff and
Yeah.
try new things. Yeah.
That's what we like about, well, we like many things about you, Rebecca, but one thing that we always admired over the past recordings as well is that you try things and you're one of those people at the
Yes.
front of trying things, so go you.
Well, thanks. And I think, I understand, I understand that not everyone is like me. So I want to be the person who tries things. I love trying new things because not every author is going to be like me. So
Mm.
what I like to do is try new things. And then I like to report back to all the authors, like, this is what worked for me. This is what didn't work. That's why I started a Substack, so I could tell authors, and I started a Substack that's like just for authors so that I could report back, like, here's what I tried with this. It didn't really work that well. So it's up to you, give it a try or not. But here's what I tried with Kobo Plus, and this is what worked really well. Or here's what I tried with Facebook ads, and this is what worked really well. So that I can, because I try stuff and I am a full-time author, I have the time to do that, where maybe not every author does. So and I have the personality and the drive, and I want to do that. So I'm happy to try new things and then report back to maybe save other people time so that they don't have to make the mistakes that I'm willing to make.
We are eternally grateful.
Thank you.
Is the Substack just for audio, or is it for everything that you're doing?
So the Substack, I call it the wide and direct author marketing Substack, I think. So it's linked on my Indie Author Vault. So we'll talk about that. But I finally created a directory with all my resources because I have too many resources and too many links. I created this thing called the Indie Author Vault, indieauthorvault.com, and it has all of my resources on it. So now I can just send people to one place. And there you'll find linked, it says wide and direct author Substack. So it's just a Substack where I just put out I just write different articles about, like, here's what's working for me now. Like I wrote an article about how I run ads on Pinterest, and I wrote an article about how I had a Facebook ad set that was like killing it under my spicy romance pen name. And so I wrote an article about what was working, exactly how I set up the ad to just like pass it on to people. Like, this is, and I can't guarantee it's going to work for you, but this is exactly what I'm running right now. Here's what's working for me. And so I just kind of updated and just send out stuff to people, like, take it or leave it. Here's what I'm trying. And when I fail, I send out articles like, I tried this, it sucked. Like, when in my Pinterest article, I was like, I tried running conversion ads on Pinterest, it sucked. So I only run traffic ads on Pinterest so I use that to create traffic to my Facebook pixel. And then I run conversion ads on Facebook. So that's kind of like the flow I've figured out that ends up working a lot better for me. So
That's interesting.
Yeah. Because Pinterest is not something that we've talked about a lot in this bar, to be
Not
fair.
really, no.
And
Sort
I've
of feels
heard,
like it's under the radar now,
yeah.
kind of sunk down,
And I forget where I heard it. But someone was saying that something like 70% of people on Pinterest now are expecting to click on it and be navigated away from Pinterest and to buy something. So they're actually more likely to buy something than they used to be. Whereas I still use Pinterest just to look at the pretty pictures, but apparently that's
interesting.
You dinosaur, Trudy.
I know. I'm a late adopter, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm such a terrible late adopter that I don't like putting like a little.
So I just want to clarify something, Rebecca. When you said you run it to your Facebook post, so do you mean you run it to a Facebook post? The
No,
Pinterest ad? No?
sorry, I said that wrong. So what I do is I set up Pinterest traffic ads. So I usually just use one creative and a traffic ad, and it's usually just like a sexy, Instagram picture of my couple with a quote from the book and then the book cover on the bottom. And I set that up for a traffic ad. I only spend $2 to $3 a day on Pinterest, so I'm not going crazy. And then that runs quite a bit of traffic to I send it to my bundle. So I'm sorry, I misspoke. So I'm sending that to my bundle on my Shopify store or on my Payhip store, depending on what author name I'm running it under. And what's happening then is when they're going to my bundle, of course, the pixel is picking up
Gotcha.
every single person that's coming in, and then they're getting captured by my pixel. So then when I go and run my Facebook ads, they now have that person in my pixel. So the person is kind of a cold, warm, well, kind of a warmish lead so I've found that now that I've been doing that for a while, that my Facebook ads have been converting better when I'm running Pinterest ads, because I'm getting people who have already seen my books and who are coming over. And yeah.
Makes total sense. And it's
Yeah.
very clever. And it's like you're putting a net out and you're kind of scooping them up and gently pulling them in.
Yeah.
Just
And
get them in
then,
there.
yeah, gotcha. I love
Yeah.
it.
Shah, you're
Yeah.
really good at like creating like very descriptive
Oh,
summations of what people are saying.
Yes.
Usually it's in gardening or cooking things, so
Oh,
they're
that's
scooping
crazy.
up of things. Yeah.
I'm happier when those are
really
the
good.
tracks that she's gone down.
Yeah, I was
personally.
going to say,
rather than
It
shark
could be
shit
way
Stay-
worse.
before.
Stay there,
not
girl.
always that
Stay in that lane,
complimentary
girl.
about my analogies, Trudy, to be fair, but thank you for that.
So Rebecca, what else are you doing in terms of your direct sales? So you've got your newsletter and the Facebook ads. Are they the main two ways that you're getting people in? What else do you do?
Yes.
promote?
Yes. So the newsletter, the Facebook ads, the Pinterest ads, I do every once in a while. I run BookBub ads, not a lot though, because I find that their audience is it's like saturated. It's like the same
Yeah.
people over and over, but they are all book lovers, right? So I do think it is good to run some BookBub ads, like I maybe do it once a quarter for each pen name. And I usually do a freebie, because BookBub people love freebies, or 99 cents, of course. Like, it's either 99 cents or a freebie. But that's a good thing, because you can put your direct store link in a BookBub ad. You don't have to send them to a retailer. They'll let you put in a direct store. And then, yeah, and then the other thing is just doing cross promo with other direct authors. So of course I run a company called Buy Direct from Authors, and we now have over 100 authors and narrators with direct stores. So we have a directory at buydirectfromauthors.com where you can search by keyword, genre, what have you. And then we have a Substack where we just hit 10,000 subscribers. So I send out new releases on Authors Direct Stores, sales on Authors Direct Stores, bundles on Authors Direct Stores. So I'm working to like change the market and get people to understand how to buy direct, why you should buy direct, why it benefits authors, why it's great for readers, because you get to actually keep the book. You're not licensing it from Amazon, like all this stuff. So I think doing sort of cross promo and direct store based newsletters like that, the round robins that I do with other authors and things like that. So yeah, just a bunch of different things. But I think, yeah, the two main drivers of revenue are definitely Facebook ads and my newsletter.
Yeah.
For anybody that's completely new to the idea of a direct selling store, I just want you to clarify how the ebooks and the audiobooks are actually delivered to the customer. I'm assuming it's through BookFunnel, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, so I always recommend that authors deliver through BookFunnel. They can choose to deliver other ways, but I believe if we're going to change the market and we're going to, we have to make it easy for readers, and we have to make it as easy as it is for them to buy on Amazon. And in my humble opinion, the only way to really do that is to deliver through BookFunnel, because BookFunnel handles all of the customer service, and they allow the reader to read on any device that they have, whether it's a Kindle or a Kobo or on the BookFunnel app. And then the BookFunnel listening app is so easy and intuitive. It's just like the Audible app or the Chirp app or what have you. So I always suggest that authors deliver through BookFunnel, and there, of course, BookFunnel costs a fee, like anything that's, that works well, like it does cost a fee. But for me, that they offer customer service. And now that I sell a lot of books on my stores, like I do get emails like, oh, I don't know how to do, what am I doing? And I just reply and I copy BookFunnel on it. And BookFunnel that's all I have to do. And I don't have to do anything else. They take care of everything. So for me, that's worth right there, the fee that I pay them every year.
100%.
Can I
Yeah.
ask a question with directing people to your store for sales for either free or 99 cents, or say even under $2.99? Do you not come across issues with scammers? Because I have had some terrible trouble with freebie seekers, and they're actually they're selling a credit card, and they're just checking if it works by using it on your store. But then you're
Yeah.
going to be stung for fees because, it doesn't work.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've definitely had an issue with that on my Shopify store, not on my Payhip store, believe it or not. But
Yeah.
I just did a couple of things. I installed an app that I can't remember what it is, but I'll tell you guys afterward. But it blocks people that look suspicious,
Mhm.
and it also blocks anyone who I sort of deem was a fraudulent purchaser.
Mhm.
And then I just keep an eye on my sales. Like if I see something come in, I know I only have a couple of books. I have one free book on each store. That's it.
Mhm.
So I'm very good now at spotting. I have one book that's under like $5 on my store. That's not free. It's $2.99. That's usually the book that they're going for because, like you said, they're trying to test a credit card.
Yeah.
So I just know that if that book is being sold, I just go back and look at my history. And sometimes it is from a customer who's like, it's like a little like bonus novella that I wrote.
Mhm.
And sometimes it is from a customer who has literally bought all my books and they want to read that book. So I can see that in my order history. But if it's not, then I just refund their order right away. So I don't get a chargeback, and I put them on my block list. And that's how I do it. And it
Yeah.
sucks. I just wish people were not jerks.
I know they are
And they're getting
jerks.
worse, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm thinking
What do you-
stronger words in my head, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you selling your ebooks for? What sort of price range do you
So
have?
now I'm selling everything, well, $4.99 on all the platforms, and on my store they're $4.79, so that people get like 20 cents off for buying on my store. But I don't really run any traffic to my individual books anyway. So it's very rare that I sell. I mean, I do sell individual books, but it's very rare. I run all my traffic to my bundles. So my bundles, I'm selling my ebook bundle for $39.99, and my audiobook bundles, depending upon if solo narrated, I'm selling it for $59.99. Duet narrated is for $69.99 right now. But the bundle, so I have everything. I have variants, but not Shopify. We just spoke about this last time. Not Shopify variants. I have like an app that allows me to create separate products, but then link them on the page so they look like variants. And so I actually run all my ads to my signed book bundles. I only run ads in the United States. I don't run ads anywhere else. And so I only ship in the United States. So those are my highest average order value products. I have a special edition for $140 that's a signed book bundle. And then I have my full romantasy bundle for I think it's 160 or 170. That's what I'm running ads to, either one of those pages. And then people will sometimes order the ebook variant or the audiobook variant, but I'm getting a lot of signed book orders also. So I'm getting like a mixture of those. And that's the vast majority of what I'm selling.
What constitutes a bundle in your eyes?
For me, it's just how many can I bundle together to like make it a fair price for the for the reader, where they're still getting a deal if they buy all these books from me. I don't want it to look like they're getting a lot of books, but I don't want to give them too many books, right? So like yeah. So it's different. Like for my Isla bundle, it's 9 ebooks for $40. Right. So, if they bought those 9 books on Amazon, they'd pay what, like 45, $50. So they're only saving $5, but they're still saving from what they'd get, and they're getting them all in one shebang.
That makes sense.
Wow. Yeah.
That's cool. That's really interesting. So you mentioned something that was selling for $160. So first of all, it was a special edition, I think you said quickly. No,
yes.
actually,
So
no.
So under my romantasy, under Rebecca, I have I have a romantasy series, and I have special editions, and then I just have the regular signed paperbacks. So people can either order. So the romantasy, I have. The special editions I have for $149 because I don't have all of the books in special editions yet, so it's a little bit lesser of a bundle. And then the whole big bundle, which is all of the individual books and my adult coloring book and all that stuff, I think I have that listed for 180. And I run ads to both of those pages. I don't run ads to my ebook bundle or audiobook bundle, but people see them when they land on my signed bundle page, right? They see those options. So, but yeah, I'm running to my highest priced bundles, which are my signed bundles, because that's where I want to capture the customer. They're coming to me when they're excited and they've just seen my ad and they've just read my excerpt or whatever I have in my ad. So that's the time I'm going to capture them and get the most bang for my buck. So that's when I want to sell them the signed books if I can, because that's where I'm going to make the most money.
So when we're talking about signed books, we're talking about ebook, they're print books, right? So it's print books.
Correct.
That you're doing. Okay. And do you get a lot of people paying like $180? Like, is that a large percentage, or do they go? Okay, wow. That's so fascinating.
Yes. And not only that, but I have upsells to each one. So usually, like this week, I've had a couple orders where not only I've had a couple of just individual signed book orders, but then I've had a couple orders where people have also bought the contemporary bundle, because that's what I have set up for my upsell. So they get, I think I have it set up for a 15% discount if they buy also. So they pay 180 for my romantasy bundle. And I think with the discount, the contemporary bundle comes out to about 115. So I've gotten like a couple of those orders this week. So where they bought both. Yeah. So yeah. So if you do that, you get enough orders of your, and I've also gotten, some ebook bundle orders and some audiobook bundle orders. Like it all kind of just like comes in, here or there. When you hear the ding on your Shopify store, you're like, yes.
And when you're selling, like, so this is the difference between running Facebook ads to a $4.99 book, and you have to make it sense. Whereas if you're sending them to a $180 bundle,
right?
Maybe you can be, I don't know, is that what you do? Do you you're able to spend a bit more on your Facebook ads when you're sending them there?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So now I'm getting, Facebook ads and I we'll never be friends. We'll just be like frenemies.
So true.
We're getting along. Yeah, we're getting along a lot better lately. But I'm still not an expert. I really want to get myself to where I am good enough at Facebook ads to teach other authors how to do them. I'm not there yet. But I am confident enough that, yes, I am spending enough and making enough revenue that I, again, do share what I'm doing in my wide and direct author Substack. I'm sharing it for free right now because I'm not like confident enough to like charge authors to like teach the Facebook ads. But I think I'm getting good enough where I can like, tell authors like, here's what I'm doing. Here's what's working. I can't guarantee it's going to work for you, but like, I'll give you every single step of what I'm doing. And again, I am just running direct store ads. So I always tell people, like, if you want to run traffic ads, this is not the advice for you. Like go follow Bink Cummings. She puts out great advice on traffic ads on Threads. Like this is not, I'm just talking about like direct store sales conversion ads. Like if you want to know what I'm doing, here you go. So I've gotten to where I'm definitely spending more on Facebook ads than like, well, I think last time I spoke to you guys, I was like $35 a day. I'm like way above that now. But again, I want to get better at like, I need to, I show a good profit, but I want to show a better profit before I really dive into teaching other authors. I hope I can get there because I don't want there to be a barrier for authors who want to run ads to their direct stores. I think authors need to learn how to do this, and I would love to teach them. But again, I don't think people should teach people unless they're putting up the numbers themselves. I'm almost there.
We have absolute faith in you, and we know you will get there because you're the sort of person that will.
And I appreciate that because
thanks.
there's a lot of people trying to sell courses and that should not be doing that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that have some success, brief success. So as a student, what I want to see is longevity and difference of success. It's easy to have a flash in the pan. I've had a flash in the pan, but it's the replication, particularly for other people's books and for other genres. That's the sticking point. So kudos to you, and just echoing, as soon as Wendy said that, I was about to say the same. We have no doubt that we will be talking to you for a fourth time.
Come back on again and tell us all about it when the time comes.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
will be happy to. I'll be happy to. But in the meantime, again, I'm doing okay enough that I'm very happy with my Facebook ads performance. So I'm happy to share what I'm doing with the caveat. So again, if you can go on my wide author Substack and I share it often. But I always share with the caveat of this is what's working now. I don't know if it's going to work for you. I can't guarantee. And next week it might not work for me, but this is what's popping right now.
Yeah.
I really love sharing that stuff.
So you were saying that you're helping other authors with their direct stores. So you're actually coaching them, or is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just teaching them because again, I am making, the majority of my author revenue I'm making from my direct stores. So I'm doing well. I'm looking at I want to be putting up huge revenue numbers for me to I think that's what people need to do to teach other authors. So I'm doing great, but I'm not comfortable enough whatever, but I'm definitely doing well enough that I can tell other authors here's what you need to do to be successful. So what I help authors with is just opening a direct store is not enough. There are several things you need to do in order to optimize your store and to optimize your catalog and to optimize everything so that your direct store can be successful. I actually just made a couple of videos for Nick about this. They're starting a YouTube channel and they're going to put these videos on the YouTube channel. And I still have the notes of what so these videos that I made, I made 3 different direct selling videos. And so what I made the videos on were the different platforms, the advantages and disadvantages of both. And then how to set up your store to be effective, and then how to market your direct store. So setting up your store to be effective, this is the step that a lot of authors don't do. And then they say direct store sales don't work for me, but they haven't set up upsells. They haven't optimized their page. They're not running ads to their high average order value products, right? They're running ads to $4.99 ebooks. They're not setting up their store for success. So when they come to me and they say, how are you getting direct store sales? And why am I not selling on my store? Then that's how I help them. I say to them, well, I took a look at your store. You don't have any upsells. You're running, your landing page is a mess. Sorry, but it is you don't have different variants set up so that people like different things. Some people like audiobooks, some people like signed books, some people like ebooks. You need to have every offering to the people right when they get on your landing page. You need to make it exciting. You need to optimize this. You need to have your, people also bought this right here, so people can just add that to cart too. So I help authors optimize their stores, because you should do all of that before you ever start running ads, or else you're really going to lose money.
Yeah.
That makes
And where
sense.
does someone go if they want to get you to sign you to do something like that?
Oh, well, for now, again, I'm just mostly just authors just reach out to me and I'm I'll take a look at your store and see what I think.
Okay.
So I just do it for free right now.
Yeah.
Again, I run buy direct from authors. So I have 100 authors that just sell direct. And, I do charge a little bit to be a part of that. So I kind of look at it a lot of those authors will come to me and say, can you take a look at my landing page and what would you do differently here? And so, I'll go through and do an audit and say, oh, I would add an upsell. I would add this. I would add different variants. You're leaving out your physical book readers. Put a variant in there to get your, figure out how to do this or that. So yeah, anyone can just. At this point, people could just message me and I'll try and help them.
No, you're an amazing woman.
Yes, you are.
How would you approach, we're in New Zealand, so obviously we can't post, we have to post internationally. How would you approach sign books from your store from us? Would you, it's a tough one. Would you do book plates, or what is that the best way to go, do you think?
Yeah, probably hooking up your store to something like Book Vault and then doing book plates. That's probably the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
And I think readers, I think they get that. They get that it's expensive and all that stuff. And you want to offer some swag, just offer some swag along with the book plates, character art, stickers, whatever you can offer that's in your budget. And I think readers so they would order it on Book Vault, and then you would, be able to send them, the book plate or whatever, that would be a cheap way, something cheap that's light to send.
Yeah, because it costs a fortune from here.
Yeah.
So you
Awesome.
mentioned
Awesome.
Spotify earlier to us as being a place. So let's talk about some of the, there's the normal places. So that's so direct on your store. You've got Kobo Plus, Google Play, Amazon. Is that all the kind of main places? And now we've got
For
Spotify.
audiobooks, we're talking.
Audio, yeah,
just
sorry,
to clarify.
audio. Yeah, I'm being specific to audio here. If you're wide audio, what other places? And also, can you talk about Spotify for us, as opposed to
Yeah, so
Shopify?
Shopify and Spotify, I know. I get them
Yeah.
mixed up
Oh,
all the time, but there's
yeah,
two,
me too.
everything sounds alike in this world.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I was just saying before that like the audio, since the last time I came on the show with you guys, like the audiobook landscape has changed and it's going to continue to change. It's changing very, very rapidly. And I equate it to the same change we had when cable moved to streaming, right? It's very similar, right? Because you started out with Netflix being the big guy, which was Audible was the big guy. And then all of a sudden you had Hulu and Disney Plus and Paramount Plus, and now you have Spotify and you have Kobo Plus and you have all, it's a very similar trajectory. So that's the audiobook market is changing and going to continue to change. Spotify is just interesting because when they launched audiobooks a few years ago, they automatically became one of the biggest audiobook retailers because they were already on everyone's phone. So they
Yeah.
literally had to do no work. They had to do no customer acquisition, right? They already had the customer base built in. And so now Spotify owns, I think it's the last time I looked, it's either like 11 or 12% of the audiobook market in the US. I don't know globally, but like here they own 11 or 12%, which is like insane, right? They're technically a new audiobook retailer because they just launched audiobooks like 2 years ago. And to own 11 or 12% of the market when you just launch is insane. But again, they didn't have to do any customer acquisition. Everyone already had Spotify on their phones. But with that being said, I don't think so. First of all, I like Spotify. I work with Spotify because I run stuff through earbuds. I work with basically a contact at every major retailer at this point because I run a lot of big promos. And the people at Spotify are really lovely. They actually had me to their home office in the city when they launched something recently. Like they're really awesome. With that being said, I don't make a lot of money on Spotify because they push all of their customers into their streaming service, right? And we don't make a lot of money as authors. People don't buy on Spotify. They just stream. And so authors don't make anything really in a streaming service that's set up the way Spotify has their streaming service set up. So personally, I still have my audiobooks on Spotify because I think it's good for discoverability. But is it one of my top revenue producing retailers? No. I mean, I basically make my beer money on Spotify. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. Do you use YouTube?
So I don't personally upload books to YouTube because for a couple of reasons. Because I have steamy books and I would have to edit that out. And because YouTube is demonetizing people like crazy lately. And that's kind of scares me to put in all of the work to take my steamy bits out and then upload it and then get demonetized.
Yeah.
With that being said, there are authors who do really well on YouTube. So I have always said that I think it's a wonderful place if you write like clean mystery, whatever you write that you don't have to do a ton of editing for. Yeah, I think it's I think people should look at it like just another retailer, like they look at Spotify and Kobo, and yeah, I mean, I think it's a great something to try for sure.
Can you just explain for somebody new to the concept, like how does the author make money having their audiobooks on YouTube?
Yes. So YouTube, they obviously show ads to, people when you watch a video. So if you're uploading an 8-hour audiobook to YouTube and you have 20 audiobooks that are 8 hours each and people are listening to your audiobooks and then watching the ads in between, once you have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, you can then monetize your channel and then you get a portion of the ad revenue that is shown on your audiobooks as people are listening. And so people can make, I mean, I've heard of some authors who are making like $100,000 a year on YouTube. Like that's great, not, again, that's an outlier. I mean, I think the average author probably makes, but if they have a big catalog, maybe, anywhere between like 500 to 2,000 a month, which is still great, whatever. But like, again, YouTube recently instituted a policy where they're demonetizing non-human channels, and that's really designed to go after AI slop, basically. But unfortunately, a lot of the audiobooks are non-human channels, right? So they're getting lumped in with the removal. And so a lot of authors are getting demonetized. And in the past, authors used to be demonetized and they could get their channel back. But what I'm seeing lately is that the reversals are not happening as often as they used to. And so people are just staying demonetized. So I guess that's just the caution I would say to people is like, you have the potential to make a lot of money. Just know that if you invest the time to upload all your audiobooks there and they demonetize you, you might not get your channel monetized again. That's the risk.
Okay. Is it also like, and this is my understanding again with the YouTube stuff, is it's kind of like sending ads to your direct store and making sales on Amazon. Is it, if you've got them up on YouTube, people don't necessarily listen to it on YouTube, but they might discover it on there and then go buy an audiobook from you directly or whatever else. Is that something that you see?
Yeah, absolutely. And I also recommend, I went through this phase where I like reposted all of my reels from TikTok. So I had reels and they were posted on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and I was posting them on YouTube also. And I did that. I was like hot and heavy in doing that. And I was getting a ton of views on YouTube on all my author channels. And my hope was that people would see like I was getting like 2,000 views every reel I posted. I was like, this is great. Oh my God, I'm getting like this. But what I found is that it wasn't converting to sales anywhere, not on my store and not on Amazon. And so I kind of stopped doing it because, again, I like to try everything, but I also love data. And if I look at data and I see that my efforts are not producing revenue, I usually will stop. So I kind of stopped doing that. With that being said, I still think it's a great idea to post whatever you can on YouTube if you have a channel, because it never hurts for anyone to see, to create more visibility for your books, for sure.
If you're a newbie, or just someone who hasn't got your brain, which is pretty much, I think, everyone else, where would you focus your time? Because obviously we're not going to be able to do all of the things you're doing because that's your jam. What would you do first? How would you sort of pare down and go, right, I'm going to focus? Would you take one thing and then see how that goes? And,
So are you talking about direct stores? Like if you set up a direct store?
For direct stores, sorry. Yeah.
The first thing I would focus, so if I was just starting out and just doing a direct store and could only focus on like one thing at a time, the first thing I would focus on is optimizing the landing pages that I was going to run ads to. That's the first thing I would focus on, and make sure I have those like tip top, all the upsell. And by the way, on my Write and Direct author Substack, I made 3 videos about this, and one of them is called optimizing your direct store. So I literally tell people, I made a video and like tell people exactly what to do. So like that's the first thing I would spend time on. If your direct store is not, like, I see a lot of people who build direct stores and it's like you go to their direct store and it's like, buy from me, also buy from Amazon and Kobo. Like, no, that is not gonna work, guys. Like, and then people are like, I don't understand why people only buy on Amazon. I'm like, it's literally right under your buy from me button. Of course they're gonna go to Amazon. You have to maximize your, optimize your page. So that's the first thing I would do that first. And then I would just, once I have that ready to go, I would then go on YouTube and watch. This is how I taught myself Facebook ads. I would just go on YouTube and watch Facebook ads. Just look up Facebook ads experts, and just conversion ads. That's what you want to watch because that's what you run to your direct store. That's how I taught myself. And then I would just make sure you're building a newsletter. Teach yourself how to run ads. Start out at a small spend and just go, and then just ask other authors. Like, ask me. There are other authors like me who sell direct who are like, I'm happy to tell you, we're all happy to share, because not only do we want to help you, but I think for me, like, I know how hard it was, and like, we're all in this together, like,
no judgment here.
No. One of the off-putting things to me as a new author is the price of Shopify, is the ongoing monthly cost before you've made anything. How do you feel? I mean, obviously you feel fine about Payhip because you have a store with Payhip too. So can you just talk a little bit about the pros and the cons on that?
Yes. I actually recommend when people do reach out to me, because, I have a lot of authors reach out to me and say, I'm just starting a store. What do you recommend? I do recommend people start out on Payhip, actually, if they're concerned about the fee, because I love my little Payhip store. It like chugs along. It works great. I run ads to it. They convert fine. It just doesn't have all the bells and whistles that Shopify has, like all the upsell apps that I can create and like all the, just all the cool stuff. But you can create that on the page. I use like hyperlinks and stuff like that, so yeah, if people are worried about the monthly fee, then I would suggest starting with Payhip. You can also start with Fourthwall. That's one that a lot of people use now. And I don't think they charge them. I think they have 2 tiers. I think one tier is free and one tier is paid. What else do people use? I know those are the 3 that I hear a lot. I know people use WooCommerce and some people use Gumroad. Again, whatever you use, I suggest using something that works with BookFunnel delivery, and there are a lot of them now. All the ones I just mentioned work with BookFunnel delivery. But it's not necessarily that I recommend Shopify over Payhip. I mean, I'm happy with both of my stores. I like both of them. But yeah, if you're concerned about the fee, I would go with Payhip.
Great.
I don't think there's any issue with that.
Great advice. Thank you.
So you've got all these tools. So we've got Indie Audiobook Deals, which is your is it a weekly newsletter? How often does that go out? What about it?
So Indie Audiobook Deals. So it's like free Booksy or bargain Booksy, but for wide and direct audiobooks. So you can submit wide links or direct store links or both or whatever. And so basically the authors have to have their books on sale for 2 weeks, their audiobook on sale for 2 weeks. And so that audiobook sale is live on the site, indieaudiobookdeals.com, for 2 weeks. The day that the deals go live, every other Thursday, is when I send out the newsletter we have over 50,000 subscribers now. So I send out the newsletter to our subscribers. The audiobooks, so they get that right away. The audiobook sale is live for 2 weeks. And then I run very small spend traffic ads on Facebook and Instagram to the site while the deals are live. And then I also post about each author's individual sale throughout the 2 weeks. So the author can then share that on their page and what have you. So it's basically like a 2-week promo where you're just kind of getting like you're on the site, you're getting the shout out in the Substack newsletter, you're getting the shout out on social media. So it's, and they each run 2 weeks each.
And then
Can I just say that's a whole nother job for you, Rebecca, just doing that.
Yes.
I'm thinking of all the, the scheduling and frankly, the author wrangling, which, let's face it, is like herding cats, because even though we deal in words, we're not always great at reading the fine print on things, or even the big print.
Or any print. Yes.
Hats off. Or any print. Hats off to you.
Instructions at all, actually. Yeah.
Instructions, schmuctions.
Yeah.
I could just tell you, so we just finished another Stuff Your Earbuds. It just ended, like it was this weekend, and I'm exhausted, and authors do not read anything. And there were so many mistakes and in the entries this time that I was about to just like go to like the Maldives and never return and just like disappear off.
Don't do that.
Like, I'm done with everybody. What is happening?
So if anyone is listening who was in the Stuff Your Earbud promotion next time, please read the instructions for Rebecca.
Get a friend, like buddy up with a friend, somebody to check your form and you check their form. I don't understand it.
Really? Do you sleep? I mean, gosh.
Not a lot, actually. I'm a very early riser, and I'm so productive in the morning, you guys. So like I get up and I am just so productive in them. Now, by the time like it gets dark, I'm done. So, but anyway, with that being said, it is a lot of work for me, but like I do charge authors now. That you guys gave me that advice. So you do have to pay to be in an Indie Audiobook Deals. It's only $10, whatever. And I do charge for buy direct from authors, but it's only $5 a month. Like I'm not charging a ton here, but like I do find that when I charge authors, they do get it together a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that was
people value. It's sad, but people value what they pay for. And I think free, like I got to be honest, we would get more respect if we had a higher priced massive course than we kind of do
Yes.
now. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
it goes against
Yeah.
our ethics, but it's unfortunately it's just the
It's
way
not really
the
ethics, Shara. It's like we can't actually get ourselves organized.
I
Actually put
also
it together.
No, we're not Rebecca. You know,
yeah
not Rebecca.
yeah
But I will say for me, I really haven't worked out so much like clockwork. I mean, I am solo, like I don't have a family or anything. So, I mean, I just, like I look at like what I do every day is, like I'm building this book empire and I'm sort of helping change the world and I'm helping teach authors and we're helping like, teach readers that there are other platforms out there besides Amazon and Audible. And I think it's I'm so like proud of like this effect that we can all have on the market and how we're changing the market. So it motivates me to do it because I get a lot. It's very rewarding for me. And every time an author says to me like, oh my God, I read your free audiobook guide and I followed the things you said and now I'm making so much money on Chirp and this, I'm like, oh my God, that's great. Like, this is awesome. Like we're changing the market. And then now their listeners are listening on other apps besides Audible. And again, Audible and Amazon are fine, but like there's other stuff out there. We need to educate readers about that. And then also because I am so regimented, like indie audiobook deals, I have such a schedule for that now. I do it without thinking. I don't even have to write it in my calendar anymore. I just know like tomorrow I'm going to publish a newsletter. I prepared the deals Saturday morning last week and it took me like an hour. So that's fine. Hour out of my Saturday morning, no big deal. Send out the deals tomorrow. I'll do the social media posting on Friday and then it's done, and then like, and for 2 weeks and then in another 2 weeks, I'll do another round. And like, I just have it so like clockwork now, I could probably do it in my sleep. So it's not as much as it seems. And maybe that's just me, but it's for me, it's not as much as it
And you genuinely enjoy it and you are enthusiastic about it, which is a huge thing. It's a real passion for you. And you can see that. And we're grateful.
I was going to say
Well,
thank you from everybody for that, Rebecca, because it needs people like you that are organized and motivated, but also like leaders to do that. So that's really, so
I'd like a quarter of that, please. Just a quarter.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. And I've always been like I feel like changing the market is so something, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but I actually started a petition on change.org that was called Stop Requiring ASINs for Paid Promos. And I addressed it to Fussy Librarian, BookBub, and Written Word Media and got hundreds of signatures. And I literally sent it to the higher ups at all three of those companies. And I was like, here you go. Here's a bunch of authors. Stop requiring Amazon links. We're done with this crap.
Yeah, exactly.
I will give credit to the Written Word Media COO. He reached out to me and we had a call, we had a video chat, and he is now working on incorporating direct store promos. So like change can happen. And I like being the person that like helps make that change. Like he's like, okay, it's time. We're ready. We've already been talking about this. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. How do you suggest we do it? Let's go. And so now he's like actively creating direct store promos for Written Word Media and you won't have to enter an Amazon link at all. And authors with direct stores can now use their vast network of readers to also promote their stores. Wow. So like, I really do enjoy stuff like that. Like, let's change the market. Let's do it,
That's awesome. So good. Man, my head hurts.
Yeah. I've got one last question, which is what is it? If our listeners do nothing else this week after listening to you on this episode, what's the single most impactful thing they could do? What can they do to help their direct audio sales as far as you're concerned?
Great question.
So direct sale. So I mean, like direct, you mean just direct sale? I kind of look at like audiobooks and direct store sales as kind of different, but also kind of the same. It's, because I do sell audiobook bundles on my store and I sell a lot of those. So that I count that as part of my wide audiobook stuff, but also like I focus on other platforms as well. Right.
Let's
so
talk
like I do a lot
Let's just talk all the platforms.
Okay.
Let's do that.
I think maybe, so something that I've been doing a lot lately, and this is maybe something for authors to think about, is think about what you can take in your catalog that you already have and how can you repackage that to create new products. So I have been just going gangbusters on creating box sets out of all of my books that I have. And I mean, I am doing audio box sets, ebook box sets, trying this out, like first in series from all three of my pen names. Let's try out a box set with that. Like, I'm just trying all sorts of things. What this is doing is this is creating more products for me to sell on Chirp, like an audiobook box set, or on Kobo, an ebook box set or audiobook box set. So then I can then enter that new box set into like a Kobo promo. And that box set has now, hasn't ever gotten any minutes read, but now this is a new product on Kobo and now it's getting minutes read. So I'm increasing my Kobo Plus revenue with a new product that isn't really a new product. It's just a new box set that so, and I know a lot of authors now are doing translations. I'm just starting to dip my toe in that. I just sold one of my series, German rights to get translated. So I'm just starting to get into that. But I guess like that's one thing that authors can do is take a look at your current catalog and think, how can I repackage this book that I already have an ebook and maybe an audiobook? If not an audiobook, then that's another way to repackage it. But how can I take this product I already have and create it a second and third and fourth product out of it, a translation, a box set, something else, so that I'm creating more products to sell while I'm writing new products. And I think that is a way for authors to sort of help supplement their income as they're adding to their catalog. So that's definitely something that people can focus on.
Great advice.
Brilliant. Perfect. Thank you so much, Rebecca. You're a superstar. Thanks for coming along and hanging out with us this
Thanks
week.
for having me.
So where's the best place for people to find you? So if they want to find out more about all the things that you're doing and how it's all going.
Yes. So definitely go. I think the easiest place is go to my Indie Author Vault. So indieauthorvault.com. And that's going to have everything listed. That's going to have my wide and direct author Substack. That's going to have my free wide audio guide. That's going to have information on buy direct from authors, information on indie audiobook deals. And I do offer consults. So people can see that there as well. If they want to book a consult with me, I offer our Zoom consults, and I do those quite often. But again, look through my resources first, because I might have already answered the question that you have. And then you can look through that as well. So yeah, I think indieauthorvault.com is probably the best place to go and start browsing around and see all the resources that I have.
Yeah, perfect.
Many.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. And Shah, where can we be found?
We can be found at spargirlspodcast.com. Make sure you sign up to our newsletter, because we send that out monthly, including obviously links to our shows, but also maybe just some pertinent snippets from each of the recordings as well, now that we have some help with transcriptions that is just kicking off. But we would love to see you in our Spa Girls Superstars Mastermind Facebook group, which is signed up through our Patreon at Spa Girls Podcast.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. And thanks to all of our listeners for joining us again for another episode of the Spa Girls Podcast. We love having you all here with us. But it's time for us to farewell, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Keep well.
Thank you. Bye.